Hello and welcome back to Not Wrestling with My Brothers. Today it is Wrestling with My Friend, Macey.
Hello, I am Macey. I'm the friend.
I'm little sister Emily, so you guys already know me, but we're going to do things a little bit differently today. Instead of doing the usual order, Macey and I are just going to go through the entire match card and give our thoughts. And then that will be it.
Yeah. I should preface my point of view with the fact that I haven't watched AEW since March 18th. So I'm a little out of the loop, but I still really enjoyed this episode.
I think that'll be so cool, though, because you can come at it from a fresh take with just the episode in itself, whereas I might be coming at it from how it fits in the storyline. All right. Broken Matt Hardy with the Young Bucks versus Joey Janela and the Private Party, with Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks taking the win. And that is how we kicked off our night.
That made the little references to Matt Hardy's previous career. Didn't know any of that. Didn't know anything about that, but I thought it was delightful. It was adorable. And they were really smooth together.
They worked like a well-oiled machine. And I love the part with Matt Hardy just going back to his old personas, because they've been doing that pretty consistently, where he'll just change into different versions or entities of Matt Hardy. So
I think that's a really interesting gimmick too, that like the changing for whatever purpose we need you. We were hoping to get a different Matt Hardy. It's very good. And I think it was really important that they mentioned the Hardy Boys as the previous thing. What do you know about that and the Young Bucks influence, how that influenced them?
Hardy Boys, just, I feel like we're the original, from my perspective, there might have been a team before I was into wrestling brothers that band together and were really in sync and did high flying maneuvers and stunts together. The Hardy Bros took it to the extreme and to another level, and I think the Young Bucks really reflect that.
The reason I liked that match so much was it was a lot of athleticism with Private Party and the Young Bucks. So there was like a lot of cool jumps and like turning around and get them. So it's a lot of fun to watch them be in sync, and it was a good matchup, I think.
I'd actually go as far as to say that this was my favorite match of the night. And something we usually do that I was going to just pass, but now that I'm thinking about it, what would you rank this night in terms of wrestling episodes out of 10?
I would say the night, I think I'd put it pretty high up, just because that might be my not having watched in a while, but I thought it was an 8. I thought overall the night was an 8. It was really good.
And see, I agree, this night was really good, and I've been watching pretty consistently, but I'm going to say this night was a 9. That's how much I enjoyed it. Maybe not the perfect show because of a few awkward scenes I just didn't get us into, but it was so good. Good.
And the cool thing about the Young Bucks match was there was some off stage fighting in the audience with the Butcher and the Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Getting into the audience, I think JR mentioned, sometimes they have plexiglass, we could have plexiglass separating the audience, which was a reference to the company that must not be named. Is that what it's called?
Yep, that's what we call it. And we actually watched the Monday show together.
We did. So I got to see the plexiglass, and gotta say, a little overwhelming, because then there's no chance of those audience tussles.
Well, and the audience ended up swarming at the end of that show anyway, despite the plexiglass. It felt so pointless.
Yeah, that's right.
What good times.
Yeah, well, and with the Butcher and the Blade, didn't another two guys roll in a truck? I don't know those guys. Am I thinking of the right match?
I can't recall, to be honest. We could Google it.
We could Google it. I just had it up because I'm like, oh, those guys must be important. Who are these guys?
Rolled up in a truck.
Yeah. Rolled up in a truck. I'm pretty sure it was that fight.
Oh, at the very end. And then they squared up. Oh, that was such an important part. I can't believe I forgot it. I was going to ask Derek or Ethan who the heck they were because they seemed like big deals, and I had no idea.
You know what? We're the experts. So they're just a couple of guys.
Yeah. I'm sure there's no big storyline or other wrestling company involved there of importance.
Not at all.
I completely forgot about that. Oh, shoot. So our next match after that was Jon Moxley watching Brian Cage's match against Lee Johnson.
Don't remember anything from that.
Well, I just remember, I'm so excited about Brian Cage, and I feel like they gave him such a great entrance at Double or Nothing, where he comes in, he's the new guy, he gets teamed up on, and he wins it all, and he's a powerhouse. Poor Lee Johnson, the only matches he gets is to be a jobber and to get crushed by the big guy. And he's so good. They should give him a chance somewhere else if they're going to make him the designated jobber for the big guys.
Yeah. Unmemorable. That match was unmemorable for me.
Yeah. Understandably so.
Yeah, I guess you gotta have one for everyone, but I guess I should look more into these guys and pay attention more to their skill.
It was a squash match, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's just to build up, because AEW is so proud of the fact that records mean something, so wins and losses. Throughout the time of quarantine, have done so many just squash matches to build up the guys they want to build up to have higher records. So that's all that match was. It's not important.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then we have Britt Baker's segment. Thoughts?
Oh no. Oh, Britt. What it just, I mean, I guess if you want to, her little, I don't even know what to say about Britt Baker's little segment. Other than that, she's mean.
She is. She's into herself a lot.
Yeah.
But she's a role model, Macey.
And
that's what she's supposed to be doing.
Don't hit the role model.
So do you like Britt Baker as a character? We are so torn on this.
I don't.
No?
I think it's because she's forcing it a little too much.
Okay, so it's laid on a little thick. I'm a role. Maybe if she was a bit more subtle with her being a heel.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in her delivery or if it's in her attitude, but it just seems a little forced to me. What do the boys think? What do the brothers think?
I know Ethan is really against Britt Baker, usually his least favorite moment or match of the night if she's involved. And then Derek, I think, has changed from not caring for her to liking her gimmick more. I've always really liked her as a heel. So I don't like her, but I like her as a heel.
Right.
That's the gauntlet of thoughts on Britt Baker.
Yeah.
I am excited, though, because, if Aubrey Edwards stays a ref but gets to fight, that would be so cool.
That would be really cool.
Best ref in the business.
So good.
So then we had Hikaru Shida versus Christy James.
I liked that match, actually. First of all, I want to talk about Hikaru Shida's outfit, because I think Kenny Omega would agree that it is a great nod to Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy 7. And it was really cool and really flashy, but in a subtle way. So I really liked her outfit.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But I thought, because it wasn't a squash match. It seemed pretty even for the most part. Like, oh, they wouldn't let her lose it right away. But wait. So I thought it had its ups and downs. So I thought it was a pretty good match. What did you think?
Yeah, I disagree, but
oh, no.
But that's just because she had an outstanding match at Double or Nothing.
Oh.
Her and Nyla had the best women's match to date for AEW, so following that up was going to be hard. And we just got done after watching Monday Night Wrestling, me and you, talking about, you pointed out women pulling hair in matches.
That's right.
There was like
hair
2
pulling.
minutes.
There was too much hair pulling. I will say, yeah, there was too much hair pulling. I don't like it because the girls are above that. They can do better stunts than just hair pulling. So why even put that in? It
lessens it for me. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it would have if me and you didn't have that conversation before I watched this episode, because we talked about it and then I was like, there's hair pulling. Macy, there's hair pulling.
I think I've always felt that way about the hair pulling.
Yeah, you're consistent. You changed me, which made this match just okay for me.
Fair.
Cody then issued an open challenge.
I don't remember that.
Cody Rhodes, he just got the new TNT championship belt.
Right. I don't remember him talking, though.
He, goes out there, and he's so bravo, and he's just, essentially, you guys have stuck with us through quarantine era wrestling.
That's right. Cody always has nice words for the fans.
Yeah, he's a pleaser.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought great promo, and it got me hyped for what would be the main match of the night.
Oh, yeah. Was that the Battle Royale?
Yep.
Yes. You know what? Yeah.
Ooh, you know how I said the first tag team match was my favorite? This one might actually be my favorite.
Oh, yes.
SCU versus Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc.
That was very good. However, you know how I'm like, oh, no hair pulling with the girls. Anytime Jimmy Havoc's up there, I'm like, no biting. A lot of biting in that one.
That's what Jimmy Havoc does, but I do think his biting the ear was a nod to Mike Tyson. Maybe not in the best way, sort of thing, but...
I agree, though. That was a great match.
It was just so high speed, high energy. I had no idea who was going to win.
Yeah.
Also, Penelope Ford interference is one of my favorite things. She does it so well.
She does. It's very subtle and you're not expecting it. Just a grab of the ankle. Very, not too much interference, but just enough.
She doesn't interfere in the usual way that women who stand on the side of their man interfere. I've said this before, but I really feel like when her and Kip walk out, Kip's on her arm and she's not on Kip's. Just the power to her. I can picture Derek rolling his eyes right now because I'm such a Penelope fangirl, and this wasn't even her match. It was Kip and Havoc. They did good too. They did great.
They did. Like the announcers were saying, they have great chemistry as tag team partners.
What do you think of SCU?
I think they're great. I think they have a great energy.
I think they're great wrestlers with a boring gimmick.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Especially compared to Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc that have this cool, edgy, slightly absurd, but not absurd like the Inner Circle. It's hard to beat that.
For sure.
And then we had, oh my gosh, I'm just remembering how good tonight's episode was, because the Battle Royal.
It was so good. you know how I feel about battle royales is they seem a little messy. A lot of times they seem like that's too many people in the ring, and there's just a lot of confusion. Not with this one. I think this one was really good.
It was high, intense energy, and I know we've been saying that a lot tonight, but I don't know if there's any other way to describe tonight.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I also loved how they mentioned that the librarian and D&D dude, what is his name?
What is his name?
D&D dude.
Oh, what is his name? There's no way.
Brandon Cutler. So the librarian and Brandon Cutler, right away on announcement, they're like, these two are competing for who could have the worst record. And then they took each other out. And I was like, oh, that's tragic.
It was. But I think, well, because how do you address the characters that are kind of not on par with the others?
Flopping.
Yeah, I get, yeah. So, yeah, that's just too bad that they're not having their moments. Like they can sometimes.
It's, they just didn't do well at the start, and they haven't gone over past that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really want to like Brandon Cutler because he's D&D themed, but I'm just like, don't get excited to see him wrestle.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, what was your favorite moment in that battle royal?
Gosh, my favorite moment. I think Ethan would agree with me. Orange Cassidy rolling up on, we're like, by that point you'd have forgotten about him. And then, oh wait, here he is. That was the greatest moment of that fight.
I kind of agree, because my favorite part was when MJF punched Wardlow so hard, and then Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy worked together, and I never knew how badly I wanted to see Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy have a match until they had one.
Yeah, once they had flipped Wardlow out, which was just so effortless. Boom, he's out of there. Then it's like, oh no, who do I want to win this? It was tense, but that was really neat.
Did you feel like at the end of the match, Jungle Boy was surprised that he won? Like that wasn't part of the script?
I don't know if he was surprised, but I did tear up because you could tell he was like getting emotional.
He was so hyped.
Yes.
Because he might just be an exceptional actor, and I'm not giving him enough credit. Wrestling is scripted. So it seemed to me that he was genuinely shocked when Orange Cassidy's feet touched the ground. But I don't know, because that's the best part of wrestling, is when you don't know if it was scripted or accident, and it just happened.
And see, I wouldn't have even thought of that. I wouldn't even thought he wasn't supposed to win. Because you're so right. It's like, that is when wrestling becomes, when it has its great moments.
It's just, oh man, I can't even explain how amazing this night was. And then afterwards, of course, we had probably, I don't know, we'll do final comments on anything we didn't get to say that we wanted to say, might have missed on the match, but finally, we had the Inner Circle pep rally.
Oh, boy. Why don't you start? With
it was something. I do love how the Inner Circle, they dived off the top into this level of goofiness, and then they've just stayed there.
They've ridden the boat.
Completely. They have not... They
the
are the goofy bad guys. That's what they are. So in a way, I absolutely loved it. And I love the participation trophies. Jake Hager impressed me with his poetry.
His poem. Jake Hager compared the Inner Circle to the best parts of Sex and Violence. Was that what it was?
They in the best extremes or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it was precious and just huh.
I have really grown to find Jake Hager charming because his gimmick never really impressed me, but him in the inner circle, love it. And then was not, Mike Tyson has been really awkward, an awkward addition for me. So I love the pep rally, and then I think Mike Tyson trying to rip his shirt off, kind of ripping his shirt off, and then just tearing it to shreds. I think Mike Tyson is a little bit awkward, and I don't know if I needed him to come back.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. I'm not sure yet. I don't think I've seen enough of what he has to offer for this. maybe he'll add to the goofball inner circle of not being a part of it, obviously, but the goofy opposition to the inner circle, which gotta say I also loved the inner circle pep rally, because I agree, when I first was introduced to them as a group, I'm like, oh, these are bad guys and they're mean and they're badasses, but now they're goofballs and I love them.
Les sex gods.
Les sex gods.
You have to watch that tag team action of Chris Jericho and Sammy. They're always doing their little poses. They're just a good pair, those two. Very charming. Okay, well, I guess that actually wraps up the show. So your final thoughts, anything we didn't touch on, any specific wrestlers you wanted to chat about?
I don't know. Gosh, I had so much to say about it earlier that I just forgot about everything. I think I said most of what I wanted to say. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to where the women's division is gonna go, because I think it's been improving. Not that I know, because I haven't watched in a while, but I thought that match tonight showed a lot of promise. So I'm interested to see where that's going.
I agree. I think they could really go far with their women's division, but they just gotta call me up and do a few things different.
Yeah. What about you? What are your final thoughts on the night?
I realized we skipped past the awkward cutscene with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega.
That's right. What was that all about?
They've been doing this, so there was a lot of tension with those two before Hangman came back. And ever since Hangman has come back, it's been like, you drink beer and I'll drink milk with you, which was charming for Double or Nothing. But for this, I was just annoyed. I was just like, this is boring. It's a boring segment. I could care less about you guys sitting on a couch chatting. And it lasted too long.
It did. It lasted too long. I was, with no context of that, I was like, what is this? What is this? Is this going to be important later? And it wasn't.
Nope.
Very confused. I was very confused.
It was just awkward. And I don't know where they're going with Kenny and Hangman's relationship. I feel like they need a dramatic breakup in AEW at some point, and they haven't had it. And those are the two to do it with.
Yeah, and they were building up to it at one point. But yeah, things hadn't. The other breakup that they've been building up towards, and we got to see a little of, was MJF and Wardlow with his little speech.
You're so right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wardlow's not looking too happy.
He's not looking too happy. I think that built suspense for those two in the Battle Royale of maybe he's gonna knock MJF out. So I'm excited to see a little more of that and MJF getting his comeuppance.
I love that. I completely forgot about that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Wardlow's gonna turn first big breakup of AEW. So I guess I don't really know what else to go into or to talk about.
Yeah. It seems weird to end it there. I guess future matches you might like to see after tonight's matches. What do you
yeah.
think?
We could go into like baby predictions because I couldn't find a good match card with enough matches, but we know that Jungle Boy is going to be versing Cody. So who do you think would win from that?
Oh boy. I think, is it for the TNT title? It is?
Yeah.
Right off the bat?
Yep.
I think it'd be great to see Jungle Boy take it, but I don't think they're ready in their storyline yet to do that. But perhaps, because I think he's such a strong competitor and a really, really bright talent, that young man.
He's so great. So do you think Jungle Boy's going to take it, or are you giving it the win to Cody?
I'm giving the win to Cody. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Cody's definitely taking the win.
Yeah.
No way they're going to give it to Jungle Boy.
Yeah. Not right after he just got it.
Yeah. So,
but I think it'll be a good one. Still.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But now all I want is Jungle Boy versus Orange Cassidy, but a full match.
Yeah, full match.
I don't really know. I know your favorite wrestler wasn't on the card tonight. There was no Darby.
No Darby. And I haven't seen his matches for a while, so I don't even know if he's versed anyone like Matt Hardy or Jimmy Havoc or someone, but I think those might be cool matches. I love Darby Allin.
I'm still hanging on to Darby Allin versus Dustin Rhodes.
I think that is a must happen at some point.
Because this is mine and your episode, I am going to make our photo cosplaying those two the thumbnail. Because
yes,
Macey and I and the brothers went and we watched the match where Jake the Snake premiered in person, and that was the coolest thing, and we cosplayed as our favorite characters, and it was so much fun and just such a blast. So
it was a great one.